Omarr, Norman-Lott, George Karlaftis, and Chris Jones combined for 19 quarterback hurries in this game versus the New York Giants last night on Sunday Night Football. And what I wanted to do is kind of break down Omarr Norman-Lott. This is a rookie that they drafted this year, and man, do they have full belief that he could become the next best thing for their defensive line. And I kind of wanted to prove that. Now again, alone, he had 5 total quarterback pressures. 5. Now, whenever you can generate pressure on a quarterback, you can create one of 6 different scenarios. Okay, now he's right here on your screen. You can create either a bad pass by the quarterback, a bad decision by the quarterback, a sack, a forced fumble, interception. You can also, get a holding call. Now, right here, he is your lane integrity guy. So whenever you're rushing for, obviously, it looks like we're overloading this left side of the field with a one-on-one here to the outside of Chris Jones. Right here is playing the lane integrity. So you don't want to rush 4 every single time. If you're sending 4, you want one guy to play the scramble lane. And Russell Wilson's a guy that will take the scramble lane. So what they do here is they're going to initiate point of attack, point of attack, point of attack. We're also going to bend off around into the A-gap. A little bit of like a stunt. Okay, so as that happens, stunt is initiated, but Omarr, he's not playing the pass rusher. He is getting to a spot, and he's sitting there waiting just in case the quarterback wants to step up. And he does. Omarr is able to make sure there's nowhere to go. Even if he wanted to scramble, there's nowhere he can go. Great job by Omarr Norman-Lott right there. And we're going to break down a ton of film on this game, so do me a favor really quickly, guys. Hit the like button if you haven't already done so yet. Subscribe to the channel for more Kansas City Chiefs updates throughout the entirety of the season. Offense, defense, individual player breakdowns. We've got you guys covered. And with that being said, hype the video and let's dive in. All right, here's another good play. This time offensive line is going to be in that scat protection. 5-man. They're going to slide the offensive line basically to the left with man-to-man to the right. We're showing pressure through the guard. Now, when he backs up and doesn't actually blitz, this guy can either double team here or gravitate and double team to the inside. Now, I believe he double teams towards the inside, but he's a little bit late. Watch how much ground Omarr Norman-Lott is able to generate, how much leverage he's able to generate in this one-on-one matchup right here to the left side of the offensive line. So, boom, we engage contact, but watch how far we push him back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 yards into the backside of Russell Wilson, and he does it quick, too. Omarr Norman-Lott has a rare combination of leg drive and upper body strength where whenever he's engaged, whether it's a center or a guard, maybe in some situations off stunts, tackles, he's just able to over-dominate them, right? Let me put this in the other angle. Again, overloading that left side. We want to generate these one-on-one matchups as best as possible. All right, so he gets his one-on-one with the center as they slide to the left. And boom, everywhere else you get one-on-ones. Right here, right here, right here. One-on-ones everywhere. We actually try to stunt Karlaftis around. Right guard does a good job sliding over, not double-teaming here. Because if they did double-team to the right, you're probably getting a sack here by George Karlaftis. But either way, Norman-Lott, look at him. Drives this man back so far. Creates pressure, forces that ball out early, and gets his guy nailed on the sideline by, is that Noah Williams? Another rookie? I think that might have been Noah Williams. I know he wears number 20. Yeah, that's Noah Williams. Big time corner for them. I think he started no, he only played 19 snaps in this game. So, definitely want to see him a little bit more going forward. But Omarr Norman-Lott, absolute wrecking ball of an interior defensive lineman, dude. He's going to get really good. With week 3 of the NFL season officially here, we have a really good matchup with Detroit and Baltimore for Monday Night Football. And I'm going to give you a play. Maybe we can 1,000x our money, maybe we don't, but we have an opportunity. Before we dive in, look at this, right? If you use my promo code DUBS, you're going to get a 100% match deposit. That is crazy, which means if you put down $100, they're going to give you $100 in bonus funds. If you put down $50, they'll give you $50. Whatever you put in up to $100, they're going to match. So you probably claim that right away. I'm going to start off with this Monday Night Football game. Jameson Williams, more than 47.5 receiving yards. This game has a 53.5 over-under, which is insane, by the way. So you can take a bunch of overs and probably feel pretty confident with it. I'm going to adjust Lamar Jackson's line to 200 yards. I think that's fair. Go more than 200 yards. I'm going to also, you can get a free pick, by the way. You know what? Let me throw that in there. Michael Penix, more than half a passing yard. That's all I need. And you know what? Let's just throw 10 to win 40. I think this is fair. And again, use my promo code DUBS if you haven't already done so yet, guys. Again, promo code DUBS and you'll get a $100 match deposit on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in about 25 states. Check out Sleeper today. Let's put that in. Let me know what you guys do for this week's slate of games. Okay, right here we get good pressure on Russell Wilson, but the offensive line makes a massive mistake. So initially, they're going to be in what we call 5-man scat. They're sliding again. Whenever you're in a scat protection, you have a slide side and you have a man side. So they're manning up to the left, and you've got a slide side to the right. Now, what's crazy about this is the center initially slides here, but then realizes, okay, let me slide back this way. But the same thing happens with the right guard, where he's here, and then he's like, okay, I'm going to pass him off to my center, and I'm going to slide to the outside, because I don't want them having a one-on-one to the outside over here. Okay, so again, what does that sound like? No one blocks him, right? So they double team, and then they both slide at the exact same time. Boom. They give him a free lane to the quarterback, and then ultimately, this dude just jumps over him. Okay, so sometimes your eyes are like, whoa, I mean, no one's blocking me, right? He gets super excited to the point where he just dives over him. Now, that is tough, because that should have been a sack for Omarr Norman-Lott. Should have been. Ultimately, not a sack. He gets through it, steps up in the pocket. I believe he scrambles for about 2 yards here. But this, we got to take care of business here. And you could tell he is so mad. He's so mad at himself. And it is what it is. You don't expect to be unblocked for the most part. And you get excited, right? When you see nobody blocking you, quarterback right in front of you. Just got overly excited. You see him really upset down here. But he only picks up 2 extra yards, but got to take advantage of those mistakes. Another rep where lane integrity. We are making sure that quarterback has nowhere to scramble. Sending guys off the edge here. We're going to initiate a double team between the center and that right guard because they're scatting, they're sliding their protection to him. They create that double team. Whenever you're the guy getting double teamed, don't overcommit. Just wait. Play the lanes. So as Jackson Dart fakes that little screen pass, he looks to step up. And if it wasn't for Omarr Norman-Lott, could have been a lot bigger of a play because you have this on the outside. This defender's chasing it, right? If Omar's not playing that lane integrity, well, guess what? Boom. He's taking this up the middle for probably a 7 to 10 yard play, maybe even more. He ultimately does get him down after a 2 to 3 yard pickup. But just a great job. Look at his eyes. Always on the backfield, always on the quarterback, making sure we know, disengage. Perfect. That disengagement tells me that he could actually be really good in the run game as well. Look at that disengagement. Eyes always on the backfield. Eyes always on the quarterback. Boom. Look at that. That is quick, instinctual. Great job by Omarr Norman-Lott. Overall, Omarr Norman-Lott was one of the higher rated or higher graded players on this football and this defense in last night's Sunday Night Football game. I feel like he's really starting to get acclimated here into Steve Spagnuolo's system, and I think he's only going to get better. We can already tell offensive lines and offensive coordinators are starting to really put a lot of respect on his name, because when you send your double team to him and not towards Chris Jones, it shows you how much they respect your game as a player. And again, they were doubling him a lot in this game, and to not double Chris Jones is unbelievable, right? So I think that alone should show you how much and how well he is respected around the league as a rookie. Now, with that being said, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. It is free, doesn't cost anything. Hype the video if you can. Helps out the channel so much. If you want more of these Chiefs videos, let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.